Dad always used to wait for me at the top of the stairs. No matter how late I came in or how old I got, he always needed to check on me to make sure I was okay. Slouching there in his boxers, his eyes groggy, he'd ask me how my night was, and I'd ask him why he was still up, already knowing the answer. That he could never sleep until he knew I was home safe. Our roles reversed in April of 2020, a couple weeks after the World Health Organization first declared an international health emergency. After abandoning my Toronto apartments, I did what many people in their 20s did back then. Moved back into my parents' house. But while so many of us resorted to Tiger King or baking sourdough, the initial days of my pandemic experience was eclipsed by a terminal diagnosis. A rare subset of melanoma cancer had originated in Dad's rectum and spread to his liver and lungs. He had less than 2 months to live. Suddenly, I was the one losing sleep. I was sucked into a whirlwind of caregiving obligations, organizing medication, driving him to oncology appointments, ensuring he was fed, hydrated, comfortable. I was grateful to return the favor, to be there for him the way he's been there for me my whole life, but I guess I was really aching for one more moment where he was waiting at the top of that staircase, one more reminder that he was still my father and I was still his son. One night as he slept, I went on a walk with a friend and smoked a joint, processing how quickly life has changed. It was almost 2 a.m. when I arrived back home, probably reeking of marijuana. I remember really hoping to see him waiting up there. As I expected, though, he wasn't. He'd been getting weaker every day, and ever since his most recent treatments, he wasn't able to walk down the hall alone. I went to bed feeling my emotions competing. A part of me felt afraid that I'd never have someone who cares for me like that again. A part of me felt grateful that I had someone who cares like that for all those years. I know not all sons are so lucky. As I gazed at the dark ceiling, lying in bed, a bar of light glowed beneath my door. After I opened it, I saw him there. "I just wanted to make sure you were home safe," he said. I hugged him tightly, and he hugged me back, and I realized how lucky we were. So many loved ones had to say goodbye behind pixelated Zoom screens back then. So many patients had to breathe their final breaths, hooked up to ventilators, surrounded by masked nurses instead of family. For us, it was different. A shut-down world offered us an opportunity to slow down. For the first time in almost a decade, my whole immediate family was living together under the same roof. We might have been losing Dad, but we were able to make the most of our goodbye. We built a hospice at home, a space of pajama dance parties and Tiger King and unexpected laughter. I decided to interview Dad daily, audio recording these final moments. I guess I recognized that I couldn't cure his cancer, but I could capture his story. He lost both of his parents by the time he was in his early 20s. His mother died when he was 15, and his dad died when he was 22, both from cancer. He never spoke about them until he was dying himself. In addressing his own grief, he was able to confront his own mortality. A small infinity unfolded in his final days. My sister got engaged next to his bedside, and Dad spoke about love and commitments and the power of marriage. After, we held a makeshift graduation ceremony for my Master's of Journalism. My uncle handed me a rolled-up piece of blank paper as Dad clapped with pride. A day later, I held his hand until his last breath. We held a service on Zoom for those who couldn't attend his limited-sized funeral. Thanks to my audio recordings, Dad was able to share some final words after he was buried.
Okay, so what I was saying was that you and Steph, Mom, have given me such pride. I've tried to give you the best I could, but I've gotten back in terms of pride and love more than I gave you.
Dad always encouraged my writing, supporting my dreams of becoming an author since I was a little kid. So it made sense that the first book I published was about him. I don't know if stamping words on a page could really offer a type of resurrection. If writing about people we love can truly immortalize those we lose. But holding the book in my hands for the first time was a tangible reminder that some moments will never leave me. Maybe that's all I could hope for. In some ways, I guess he'll always be waiting for me at the top of those stairs.